So we left off with some new upgrades and waits for those upgrades to be spawned based on the probability. So this stuff seems to be working. And now I feel like I need to add some more different characters. Well, right now I'm using a sprite sheet, which is basically I'm restricted by the sprite sheet I'm using. So it's kind of difficult to fit the sprite sheet to my needs, and so I'm thinking of making my own sprites and animations for the game. And to do that, I'm going to use OpenToons, which is an open source software that allows us to make 2D animations. It's kind of neat. I watched a couple of tutorials. I know almost nothing about it, but I plan to be using, at least try and see how far I can get. And also I'm going to be looking into using a neural network to kind of help me generate the in-between frames in the sprite animations. So one thing I'm looking at now is creating an OpenToons project. And I will try to get going. Let's see. Add a new project. Okay, seems like I have created project successfully. That's a good start. Let's see. Yeah, now we have all of this additional folders with stuff. This is good. Now, first of all, I need to set up. Okay, so I need to save the scene, and let's call this scene ranged. Character ranged. Okay. Next thing, I need to find a way to resize the view. Okay. So let's say 256 by 256. Okay. Let's see. Next thing would be we have the output. Okay. Let's see. Settings. Okay, so this is the background color. Yeah, this would be nice to set it to something less intimidating. Maybe 50. Oh, 70. Let's do 70. Okay. Now, let's see. Need to create a new level. Okay. I'm going to add a second color. Okay. Oops. Okay, well, it seems like this thing. Uh-huh. Okay, all I need is a preview. Okay. Yeah, this seems correct. Now let's say the size. Okay. Now the plan is to make a character. I think it's a bit too tall. And I want to go for a hand-drawn style, kind of. Okay. Now let's say we need, if we go and check where is the stuff? Yeah, here, okay. Okay, so we have attack animation, we need death animation, we need animation of getting hurt, idle, and walk animation. Do we need walk animation for the guys who throw like fireballs or stones? I think not now, at least. So let's try with the attack animation first, and then we see where we get. Okay. So the nice thing about OpenToonz is that it kind of has this ability to render onion skin. Which is kind of, I think it will be clear in a moment. So let's say when we attack, we kind of lean backwards and then take a stone out of the pocket or something and throw it. No, it's not good to take it out of the pocket because the stones are separate entities. So we kind of want to not couple it too much. Okay, so the idea is to we can do this. Let's try and draw the main keyframes. So we kind of have this arch. So, and then kind of do this. Okay, now onion skin is basically when you're drawing a frame and then you can see the previous frame and the next frame, which kinda is nice because now I can see that the green frame is the frame that's coming after, and the red one is the frame that's coming from like basically from the past, and we kind of can understand where we need to place the current, like where we need to position the character on the current frame, which is nice. It should be somewhere here. And then the arm somewhere here, and so something like this. Okay. And then let's say in 2 frames we go, and in 2 more frames we want to end up in a position with the most kinetic energy to fire the projectile. Maybe it would take 2 frames, so maybe we should scrub it a bit. Okay, and then maybe it should look something like this. It should look like something like this. So I'm just setting the main keyframes, and then hopefully AI will do the rest for me. And AI is not like AI frame in betweening is not a part of this software, so we will have to use a third-party solution for this, which is fine. There, as far as I know, there are like several solutions, several models available to do this type of work. I have tried Rife, and it seemed to do the job good enough, you know, and then a little bit of cleanup is necessary after that, but I would say it's good enough for the purpose of a little hand-drawn funny type of game. And 2D animation is not really my forte, but we'll see how far I can go. So 1 to 2 frames basically. and we want to be as efficient as possible. I don't really like this curve. I think it should be more like leaned forward like this, and then okay. And we want to eventually come back to the initial state, so that this entire thing is looping. Oh, hey Artem. Well, it looks pretty much the same way we had it look during our game jam. But right now, so basically there is lots of changes in terms of uh, the game mechanics, and it's sort of like more of a roguelike. And then you have this basically different types of bonuses and upgrades uh, you uh, you get upon the completion of the level. And then there is like different systems, like the noise, one-dimensional noise-based wave system, which is generated for every difficulty. And then there is a dynamic terrain system as well. And in terms of the visual looks, it's the same old sprite sheet that we used during the game jam, but right now the idea is kind of uh, to make an overhaul of the look, because there is a lot, like a lot of different characters and different upgrades uh, that I can't really uh, get anywhere because of the differences in the visual style. So the idea now is to find a quick way to make the graphics pipeline so that I can make these assets kind of in a fast and efficient way. And then the idea is to have a hand-drawn doodle style to everything. Okay, so now I want to arrive at this position. And let's make some. Okay. To bring the legs back in place. Okay, and then we ghost between, we interpolate here. The head looks like a potato. Well, maybe that's for the best. Okay, let's see. This looks nice. Gonna save the scene now. Oh, thanks. It's mainly just different layers of Perlin noise. I can show. So basically, there is this stage So basically there is this like a terrain system which kind of consumes the sprite sheets and then makes a grid of dots essentially. And then I think I can show in the debug mode, uh, or maybe I can even show the mountains level. So basically, if I go to the level file and turn on the debug mode, uh, mountains generate. So basically, the terrain is described uh, in terms of layers, and we add a layer which consumes the tile set of grass, and then we add another layer which consumes another tile set, and this is what the tile sets look like. If we go to terrain, so basically these are the terrain tile sets, uh, which basically map. So if we have a two-dimensional grid for every cell and for the neighbors of the cell, there is a set of conditions. Like for example, if you have a neighbor to the right and then you have a neighbor to the top, then you pick this tile, and then if you have no neighbors, then you pick a different tile. If all of the neighbors around the cell in a 2D grid are occupied, then you pick some other sprite from the sprite sheet. And so basically this terrain system generates generates a two-dimensional grid and then populates the grid with Perlin noise, and we can basically see it like this. So this is just a simple layer filled uniformly, and we can see it like every dot, every red dot is basically a cell, and every dot is kind of filled at the moment. And then on top of this, I add a layer with stones, and now every on top of that, every dot has a sprite of the stones sprite sheet. And then on top of that, I can say, for example, generate me some noise, and subtract the noise from the current layer, which is the stones layer, and then I subtract some more noise, like on a different scale, and then this line, for example, here, I'm going to subtract some more noise with a different kind of a scale and a different threshold. And then on top of that, I'm saying create a new layer with rocks, and this is what it looks like. And then on top of that, I can say remove the rocks from certain areas of the grid which are represented by some more noise, like so, and then we end up having this kind of system. And then I can also say that on top of that, remove this particular rectangle from the layer with rocks, and it's needed like to free up some space to place some props and assets. And then this is the layer with trees, and it's completely empty, so I'm filling it with some Perlin noise, and now we get some trees on mostly on top of certain uh, patches and rock formations. And so I can keep on adjusting the layers, and basically every terrain and every prop is designed is accumulated, generated in this way. And by changing different tile sets and different kind of layers, you arrive at different terrains essentially. So this makes it kind of easy to procedurally generate lots of different biomes based on the tile sets. So yeah, that in essence is the system. But now I'm kind of trying to disassemble everything and make cheap little toonish look. So now now I'm going to fill in these things: the face, the hands and feet. And the next thing I will try to do is to feed these keyframes to a neural net to generate a set of in-between frames, so the animation is kind of smoother. Okay. And now I need to find a way to export. Okay. Output settings. From what I remember, I'm supposed to do it here. I want to output it as a set of PNG. Okay, let's see. Render tiles. Okay, these windows are not getting streamed, which is kind of not very good. Okay, I guess I'll have to fix that on the next stream. My setup is still a bit shaky, but now that I have exported these frames, now the idea is to let me see if I can fix this. Add window capture. Okay, this should be more like it. Now we have this animation exported, and the next thing is I have to feed it to the neural net. So I'm gonna try and do that. So this is the neural net that it's called Rife. And it's basically open source solution that requires Python to run. It seems to be pretty straightforward to install. There's just like a bunch of steps. You just clone the repo, you install the dependencies, you need Python 3 to do so. And then you just kind of run the script. It's called inference video.py, and what we are going to do is basically run the script, and we want to supply the input using our images. So we are going to use this prompt. To do that, I need the Anaconda environment. Let's see. Let me do that. Okay, I need to get here. And let's copy the line. So we want to run this thing, inference and img input, and we need to kind of like put the images in this folder now. I should probably write some scripts to kind of automate this whole thing. It's not ideal. Let's see, where are the images? So these are the images, and so there is a quirk. There is a caveat. We need to make sure that the naming convention is correct. So I'm going to use bulk rename utility to do so. Let's go over to the downloads, Rife input, and we need to remove this stuff and rename so that we only get numbers as input. Now we can run the net and hopefully it works. Let's see. So it outputs the result here, and let's see what it looks like. Okay. So there are some issues with this part here that should be fixed. Also, assuming this is 60 FPS, I think it takes way too long. I can remove the frames manually, but I'm going to try and change some settings here and see how it affects the output. Let's see. I would say this is good enough. Maybe the arm can come a bit from the top. well, to be honest, this looks more like a hurt animation than a projectile throwing animation. Let's see if I can do something about it. So let's see. Uh, let's see. So let's see some references. Well, this is more like it. How do humanoids throw things? Yeah, well, the arm comes from the top, so that makes sense. Let's try to approximate. Let's try to approximate this. So this frame is fine. This frame is crap. This needs to be fixed. Let's do some onion skin. I would say it should come from somewhere here instead. And then this is not correct. And the arms should be oops. Something like this. What does this look like? Okay. There is too much of a curve happening over here. Yeah, this is much better. Do this. Yeah, this will require a significant amount of cleanup because I'm not confident at all in the quality of the output from the neural network here. Okay, so we're going to render this thing again. Nice. Now, after that, we have our output. We bring it here. We do some renaming. We run the network. Let's remove this stuff. Okay. Let's see what it looks like. This is much, much better. This is so good. Now, we need to get this stuff back into OpenTunes. And after that, we should do some cleanup and add. So I'm thinking there should be some kind of an outline because otherwise it could mix with the background. Let's see. So we need this project, right? And then open to, oh, it needs one, like the browser here works with one click, not double click. So the question is, why am I not seeing anything? Projects, assets, OpenTunes, graphics, outputs. Okay. Okay. And we need to go to downloads instead. Okay, now these things, they need to be renamed as well. So we need to go to rife out, and we need to prefix this. Range it, throw. So this should work, hopefully. Yeah, so now it sees the entire sequence of images as a single level, I believe it's called. And it has 17 frames, which means that now ideally I will be able to just drag one frame. It would import the animation, and then we get this new animation here, which we can work with. Okay, this is good. Now I want to do some quick cleanup before I continue. Oops. And the white color. Okay. Okay, well, this is fucked up. We put this frame, should be around here. Okay. I think the hardness levels are different on the brush. Okay, so now yeah, it's confused in this one frame. Let's maybe increase the hardness. And we add this color. Okay, and yeah, the interpolated frames are kind of smudged a bit, but that's fine. Well, this looks great. Looks pretty smooth. Now, let's try to add an outline and try to render it into a sprite sheet and then import into the engine and see how it works. So this, I believe, should be here. Okay, so this is a node-based editor which kind of like procedurally assembles different passes, and we don't really need this level anymore. We can delete this. How can I delete this? Okay. Can save the project. And now we have only one input. what we want to do is insert an outline. I'm not sure why I don't see the outline. What if I remove the connection? Okay. I think it has something to do with the background. What if I add another level and then I put the color? Can I drag this here? Yeah. Okay, and then I extrude. And then now I should be able to see the outline. Okay. No, well, they're separate inputs. Okay. It's kind of annoying that I can't see the trend. Oh, checkered by. Okay, this is much better. uh, this is much better. Now, a question is how can I see the outline? Add FX. Let me see some tutorials on how to do this. Okay. So I need to plug this in as source. No, this should be this and this should be source. Does this make sense? It seems like the outline doesn't work at all for some reason. insert art contour line. This should be it. This is plain weird. Let's see, what am I doing wrong? Open toons. Outline is not visible. What if I try doing the outline on top of... So this now has an outline, like technically. At least it claims so. And what if I add a new layer? I make and I make a simple drawing, and then I come here and I select this. Okay, now this source, this has outline, but this one doesn't. Why so? What is happening here? Is it because the type of the level is somehow different? Yeah, my lack of knowledge clearly shows itself here. So this thing is green and this thing is gray for some reason. And I kind of expected it to be green, and I'm not sure what the gray color means, because I know the yellow color means vector and green apparently raster, but the gray color is weird. Maybe it has something to do with it. Maybe that's what I should Google. Imported image. It doesn't work. Oh, that's a bit dramatic. Imported images. Effects. Tools. Difference between raster and imported. There seems to not be a difference, and then I'm not exactly sure what's happening. So these are the frames in the level, and can I do something here? Okay, so there is a raster level and tunes raster level. What the hell is that? So tunes raster level is different, and this seems to be different. This is so confusing. So it seems like this thing applies to tunes level effects. So then probably tunes level, tunes are defined. Okay, so tunes raster level similar to tune boom harmony raster drawings. Raster level most like Photoshop. Drawings don't retain an additional style palette. Info has several brush types to choose from. Okay, convert. So this is, I guess, the difference. I want to convert raster level to raster. Okay. From raster. This is a 7-year-old thread. Level convert. But this is, it's talking about. Okay, is there some kind of an option to convert the level, revert, convert? This is a different type of conversion. It's converting to a vector. What's a scan level? So what if I do this? Then once I copy this, what happens? Okay, so it's still refused. This is so dumb. This is ridiculous. OpenToon's outline imported images. Okay, let's search in the manual. Applying effects. What's happening here? Okay, so this effect can indeed be only applied to Toon's raster. Now the question is, how do I convert the imported image level into a Toon's raster level? Okay, so maybe cleanup. Maybe cleanup would help. Is this? Where do I do cleanup? Level? How's the painting miniatures going? This is weird. I don't know what revert to cleaned up means. It's not supported for current selection. Just... Oh, now I can convert. No. No. Okay, these are not vector cells. Okay, is there another way? To make... Okay. So what if I just blur the image and then I do the distort gradient image adjust levels, and then I pick the alpha level. And what does this look like? Okay. Well, this is something. Yeah. Yeah, this is a much better way of creating an outline. Okay, let's say if I put it to 5. Okay, this works for me. And then what I want to do is I can also make the entire thing black. Yep. And then I can invert the colors. Well, this was easy. I can add an inversion, which makes it white, and then I blend layers together. Come on. Layer blending. I want to do over, and then this thing goes here, and this thing comes here, and we mix the levels, and we get the outline, which is nice. Okay, this is very cool. It's weird that this thing doesn't work with raster levels. But now we have this thing working. And now we can export. No, we should render it out. And then we can see what it looks like. It should have an outline now, which it does. Yeah, this is very neat. This is very cool. Now, next thing I'm going to do is let's make this into a sprite sheet. And let's get these things together. And we're going to add an extrusion of 3. We want to force it squared. And then we export it as Pixie. And we export it as characters. And we say ranged so now we can pigtails. Yeah, maybe that's for another character because I'm too lazy to redraw this thing. Let me close these things up. We don't need this. We don't need this. And we go to level home. And now I'm going to try and import this new style sprite sheet. Characters. Oh, I did not. Did I export? No, I didn't export. I still need to export. Publish sprite sheet. Okay, now we have the sprite sheet here and it's labeled correctly. Now let's try to import. So basically I'm going to replace all of the animations with attack animations. And let's see, sprite sheets, characters, ranged. So we call this ranged for the time being, and then, yep, this should be fine. And sprite. Sprite ranged. So we are going to remove this thing here. We're going to replace it with ranged. And then we need to, let's see, we need to name these things properly. And we have 17 frames of animation. So I'm going to just copy these things. let's rename so that I can use this utility function. And then yeah, I will need to make sure that everything is streamlined for the future. Because this is not very comfortable to work with. But it's fine. This is just a proof of concept. So we want character ranged, and then we don't want double zeros. This is silly. Okay, so we do this. And then, for example, what's happening with this? So it doesn't have any zeros, but it starts with a 0. So we need to do the same thing here. Everywhere where we have underscore and a 0, we just make it into an underscore. And then here we start from 1 instead of 0. And then attack. Okay, well, this is something. Well, this looks great. Okay, this is this is something. Now, I guess I will need to scale this thing down a little bit. I wonder if I'm overriding the scale anywhere. 0.3. Does it work? Yeah. But yeah, because here this thing is getting overridden. It looks a bit well, the animation of throwing the projectile is actually nice. I think it works good. And I will need to... Okay, so I will need to make more animations for this. I will need to make an idle and death animation. Yep. And then... So let's assume it's going to be 256 pixels in width and height, each of the frames. Let's actually bring the scale to a proper value so that it doesn't look too weird. And then we need to go. It's not going to be the button. It's going to be the controls, I think. So if I go to the level, yeah. So now if we, yes. So this line should fix the controls. And let's try to see. Yep. maybe a little smaller. Okay, so this works fine. And then I guess I also need to, let's try to win a level and then see what it looks like. Okay, well, this is obviously way too big. This is this is very silly. Now, okay, and this thing is happening inside of the vendor. Let's see what I'm doing here. This is a component NPC in render. Oh well, it feels kind of liberating knowing that I can just draw whatever and I'm not limited by the sprite shit. So I think this is a decent workflow once I polish it up a bit. Now we are here, get sprite, and we need to do 0.2. Let's see. I'm going to reduce the level timer for this level to 4 seconds, and then we can reap the rewards faster. Yeah, this is better. So now we can get these characters in, and then on selection, which is happening inside of the button. Inside of the button. Where is the button component? Here I want to so basically it's just setting it to a value of 1 on mouse leave. And on mouse enter 1.2. What if I do this? Oh, okay, so yeah. Okay, so it's this property. Mouse enter sprite scale, sprite original size. Well, this is a magic number. Let's make it even more magical. Let's see if this works. Yeah, this is much better. Let's try to get the reward. Yeah, this is good. Good stuff. Alright. I'm gonna commit and go take a break now. Oh, the master volume of the stream. Yeah, I guess I will need to play around with the mixer. It's maxed out. I guess I will look into it after the stream. I'm gonna go take a break. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching the stream. I really appreciate it. It was a nice company, even though I don't have I don't have this habits of looking into the chat window because the sounds are disabled. So I need to set that up as well so that I can see when someone is writing and respond in a timely fashion. But thanks a lot. I'm gonna go take a break now. See you guys next time.